Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness, where we talk about preparedness seriously. We don't try to jump up and down and scare you about everything, but we talk about preparedness seriously because you need to know the truth in order to be ready for what's coming, right? Okay. Uh, Grab whatever you drink in the morning and join me. And I'm drinking Attack Coffee. I made right here in Kansas City. Combat Cowboy. It's my new favorite coffee, other than Folgers Instant. But I'm really enjoying this. This isn't an ad. I'm not. I don't get anything for it. I just like their coffee. They're good folks. I had talked to them about possibly being suppliers for a new Stonemont coffee that I want coming out. They were very nice. They said they weren't able to commit to to that because they're just starting out and they're still growing. Didn't know if they'd be able to satisfy the orders. But they gave me somebody else's name. But I still love them. Okay, I mean they're great people, and it's great coffee. I'm drinking mine today out of the Stonemont Integrated Preparedness Gathering, 2004, and you ought to plan to come to our next gathering on October the 4th, 2005, in the Kansas City area because you will enjoy it. You'll meet some great people. You'll have a great time, and it's something you don't want to miss. I look forward to seeing everybody out there. So, Steve, I just said that we don't come on here and try to scare you about things. We talk about preparedness seriously because preparedness is a serious subject. But Steve, if that's the case, why are you on here to tell us the cold, hard, terrifying truth about the economy? Well, because if you don't know the truth, you're not going to be able to prepare for it. Simple as that, right? You've probably read enough things in the news and you've heard other channels tell you how horrible things are about inflation, about the economy collapsing, about recession. Some have told you we're in a recession. Some have told you we're in a depression, which is silly. I'm going to tell you right now. Be careful who you talk to. There's too many backwoods, so-called economic experts that just want to sling a bunch of false information to make them feel better, and to make you feel bad, to be honest. And it may build them up, but it's going to tear you down. And I'm here to give you some truth, and I want you to listen to these truths because it's going to help you prepare for what's coming. And at the end of this, I'm going to ask you a question that is going to shock many of you. Okay? Combat Cowboy, Attack Coffee, Kansas City. All right, I've written down a few things here that we're going to talk about the truth about the economy, and many of you are probably unaware of much of this. I don't know, probably some of our PMPs and our people over on the Patreon channel are probably aware of this, but many people aren't. Many people who consider themselves preppers simply aren't aware of these things. And I'm going to post a video over on our Patreon channel that explains a lot of what I'm talking about here. Okay? Join us, by the way. If you're not with us on the Patreon channel, the link's down below. It only costs you $1 a month, and we put a lot more stuff over there than we do on YouTube, and you'll learn a lot. And if you're serious about preparing and you're serious about learning more, you ought to be there. Okay? We'd love to have you. Number one, the U.S. industrial production has jumped to a record high. Did you know that? Did you know that? The February index moved to 104.2. Did you know that? That's the highest. If you don't know how that's figured, you can Google that after we're done here. That's the highest since Trump's first term. I think in 17 or 18, 2017, 18, something like that. The second thing you need to keep in mind is that manufacturing increased 0.9% in the month of February, led by motor vehicles and parts, which jumped 8.5%. Did you know that? Did you know that? Is that surprising to you after hearing all these other people tell you how horrible things are? Yeah. You're going to learn a lot in this one, and it's going to help you prepare better, okay? Now, what that means is manufacturing increased 0.9%, okay? That's almost, figure it, just round it to a percent. That means a manufacturing increase of almost 12% annually, okay? Led by motor vehicles and parts, which jumped 8.5% for the month. That is almost 100% annually. Did you realize that? Did you know that? Are you starting to get a picture here that, oh, maybe these people who are telling me how horrible things are lying to me? Now, I don't want to call these people liars. There's just far too many backwoods economic experts out there telling you wrong information, telling you things that are false. Now, maybe they're not lying. Maybe they just don't know, okay? But the effect is the same on you. And here again, I'm not accusing them of lying. I think probably what it is ignorance. I think that there's just too many people out there that don't know what they're talking about, but are just more than willing to talk about it, things that they don't know. And the danger is they mislead so many people, okay? Like I said, I'm going to ask you a question at the end of this that's going to make a lot of you think. Number 3. High-tech output is up 1.4% in February. Wow. Up 26% at an annual rate over the past 3 months. That means over the last 3 months, it's gone up at a rate that if you extrapolate that out 12 months, it's 26%. Did you realize that? High-tech output. Okay. That's amazing. We're running over the last 3 months at a 26% annual increase. That doesn't sound like a recession to me. It doesn't sound like economic collapse to me. What do you think? Okay, let's go to number 4 here. Did I tell you I am reading this? I had to restart this. I'm reading this out of my Stonemont notebook, and I'm going to tell you how to get a free one of your own at the end of this. Number 4, business equipment is up 1.6% in February, almost 24% annually over the last 3 months. Business equipment. That means that business is anticipating exceptional growth. Why do we care about business? Because business employs people. Business drives the economy. I know that people like to think that the lady down the road that sells the eggs drives the economy. She doesn't. Business drives the economy. And that is up 1.6% in February, almost 24% annually over the last 3 months. Sound like a recession to you? Not to me. Number 5, trillions of dollars in foreign investments are being made into the U.S., as well as hundreds of companies transferring their production facilities from overseas into the U.S. Why are they doing that? Tariffs. You listen to these people who are trying to tell you that, oh, tariffs is a tax on you. Tariffs is nobody. The country of origin doesn't pay the tariffs. The business don't pay the tariffs. You pay the tariffs. It's another tax on you. That is, well, that's ignorance. That is a show of ignorance of the people who don't understand how tariffs are used and how they are applied. The reason that we are getting trillions of dollars in foreign investments into our country after Trump got in, for those of you who continue to say, well, he might be doing some good things, but I think there's something bad coming. Man. Hundreds of companies transferring their production facilities from overseas into the U.S. The latest one, my brother-in-law just sent me one about a furniture company that's moving from Canada into the United States. What are they setting up? They're setting up their new production facility in North Carolina. What does that mean? That means jobs for North Carolinians. That means when one automaker is saying, no, we're not making any more cars or trucks in Mexico, we're making them in the United States. That's jobs, that's benefits, that's American families that are being supported. Does that sound like a recession to you? If you're still asking that question, I'll give you the answer, and the answer is nope. Number 6, core retail sales numbers increased 1% in February and is now running 3.8% annually over the last 3 months. Retail sales are up. Okay? I hear a lot of on other channels and occasionally comments on this channel that say, nobody's got any money. Nobody has any money. Retail sales are up. How does that happen when people don't have any money? Okay. Does that sound like a recession to you? No, it doesn't. I will interject something here, though. I will interject that inflation is killing in many ways. Well, killing, that's a dramatic phrase, isn't it? Inflation is causing hardship in rural America, rural and small town America. That is true. That is true. And I'll do a separate video on that because I want to talk about one particular company and what their CEO talked about with that. But that'll be another one. But when these things come in, when we're having a repatriation of dollars and of manufacturing into the United States, you know what that means? That means more jobs for the people who live maybe in small towns and rurally, to drive into the city or the plant or whatever. People have been doing that forever. They live in the country, live in a small town. They don't want to live in the city, and that's fine. But the jobs are in the higher paying jobs are in the city, and the people who really do well, they can drive into the Ford plant, they can drive into the Chevy plant, they can drive into the John Deere plant. Or, what if they drive into a place and make money? Go back home. But this helps everybody. This helps everybody. The next, housing starts are up over 11% in February. Did you know that? Housing starts. What does that mean? Jobs. Jobs for concrete workers. Jobs for dirt movers. Jobs for framers. Jobs for finished carpenters. Jobs for roofers. Jobs for plumbers. Jobs for electricians. Jobs for developers. Jobs for builders. Jobs for real estate agents. Do you see how all that works? And housing starts are up over 11% in February. Folks, does that sound like a recession to you? Because it's not. And the people that are telling you that we're headed to a recession or we're in one are not telling you the truth. Whether they're lying to you or they just don't know any better, you have to stop listening to them, because it's negatively affecting your ability to prepare properly for the future. We're coming into a time to where you can really start to prepare and do well. Now, at the end, I have a question for you. Do you know who's telling you that times are terrible? That we're headed to recession and inflation and all this blah, blah, blah? Two groups. A lot of preppers and Democrats. Did that just hit hard? Did you hear what I said? Did that shock you? Did that maybe upset you? Let me ask the question. Why do so many preppers seem to parrot liberal talking points about things being terrible? Why do you think that is? Well, because they want your support. Now, if that's you, I hope that you will break yourself out of that, because you should. We are probably entering one of the best times in recent history to improve your situation. There's no way. I've said this before. I say this on a couple of my business videos. You have to try to fail in America. What's happening in America right now, as the result of Trump For all you people that say, well, I like him, but I just think there's something wrong out there. Stop listening to these naysayers, okay? I mean, really stop it, because they're, if they want you to think negatively, they ask yourself, do they have your best interest in mind? Now, if they wanted you to see the truth, yeah, that they would have your best interest in mind. But what I just told you is the truth. What I just told you is demonstrably true. It's not an emotional, oh, I just think things are bad. Okay? No, that's the truth. This is the truth of what's going on now. You are in a position to be able to better yourself, your current life, and your preparedness probably better than at any time since before Obama. That's the truth. So the lesson here is take advantage of this. The cold, hard truth about the economy is it doesn't suck. And that's terrifying to those who want you to believe that it does. You have to throw off the chains of negativity so that you can start making your life better. And if you're truly interested in preparedness, if you are a PMP, a preparedness-minded person, now's the time to grab that opportunity and increase the quality of your life now while preparing to do well in the future. Would you like to read a story, a great book and a great book series, people tell me, about positive preparedness? It's a story that you will love and you will learn so much from, and it's not a bunch of whining and moaning about, oh, we can't do this, oh, times are tough, eggs are expensive, whatever. No, it's probably one of the most positive books and series of books you'll ever read, and that is my books, the Stonemont series. Yeah, I wrote these. The Reversion, the Revival, the Renewal, and Appeal to Heaven, the Blessings of Freedom, Hostages to Fortune, and the latest one, On Wings Like Eagles, collectively known as the Stonemont series. It's the story of a family, a prepared family, who as a result of their preparedness, who followed along the very things that I told you, were not only able to continue to live a good, high-quality life after the collapse of everything, but help other people too, and then as a result, rebuild community. And there are things, you'll love the story, but you will learn so much, you won't even realize you're learning. People tell me that. They say, there's people who have read through this 5 times, and they say they continue learning. They see things they missed the first 4 times through. How about the reintroduction of economics? How about the reintroduction of proper government? How about the reintroduction of proper comparative justice? How about lessons in history? How about reintroduction of technology? All of that I cover in here. All of it. And you will love it. Now, there's a couple ways to do it. You can get them through Amazon, and that link's down below. They get them to you pretty fast. Or you can get them from me, and that's the best way. That's the way I love you to do it, because through our website, stonemont.us, because through the website you can get the whole set, and you can get it at a nice discount, because when we send it as a set, we save on package and handling and shipping and everything like that, and we pass those savings on to you, so you get a nice deal, and we throw in a free Stonemont notebook for you, just for you. And when you do it like that, and the link's down below, like I said, stonemont.us, then I get to sign them for you, and I get to write a little note in there for you. And I love doing that, because it makes me feel like I'm getting to know my readers more, and I value my readers just like I do you all, my viewers on here. And what I want, the reason that I wrote those books, and I'm continuing, I'm working on number 8 right now, is to help people learn, to teach people. And if you follow along the lessons in there, you won't believe the difference it will make in your preparedness. Okay, so anyway, that is the cold, hard, terrifying truth about the economy. No, it doesn't suck. It sucks for those who aren't doing things right. It does. It does. It sucks for those who want to hold on to, the old way of doing things, but not for most. The opportunities are out there. Life always sucks for a good portion of society because they're not doing what it takes to not make their life suck. See? Okay. So that's the cold hard truth. We're not in a recession. We're not going into a recession. Inflation is coming down, but you shouldn't have been hurt by inflation anyway. I've talked about that before. And there are many ways, many opportunities out there. And I'll stop this with a tag. For instance, these people that want you to buy gold, okay, not exactly economics experts. I'll just put it that way. If you spent $2,000 to buy an ounce of gold a year ago, you've made $1,000. They think that's good. I can tell you how to start a business with $100 and make $20,000 within 3 months. Which is better? That's the difference between, and no, it's not magic. It's just something that I've done. That's the difference between people who really want to take responsibility for their own future, and those who just kind of want to play the victim and lay back and hang around and go, oh, woe is me, because life sucks. Okay? Life doesn't suck. Life is great. God gave you a life. Do what he says with it, and you will do great. Okay? So remember the books, links down below. You'll love it. You will come out of reading those books with a sense of positivism that will surprise you. And it's true. Okay? All right. Remember, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. Just get out there and do something. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.